Good afternoon, comrades and friends. This is Professor Nameless Kitsune saying hello to you. Afternoon, January 19th, 2026. Today we're going to talk about a giant, cold, freezing chunk of ice that is Greenland. So, what is going on this big chunk of ice? Well, for those of y'all who don't live in a cave, you know what is going on. The United States wishes to, one way or the other, conquer and annex the Danish territory of Greenland. One way or the other, meaning either we do it peacefully by buying it, or we do it violently by military action. This has a lot of people freaking out, including myself, most of American people, pretty much all Icelandic people, Greenlandic people, and Danish people, and European people, Canadian people, Mexican people, Venezuelan people, Colombian people. I mean, I think the only people that are not freaking out is Russia and China. I think right now China and Russia are getting out their popcorn and their cookies and their milk and watching all of this situation and being like, if I were to be Putin or Xi Jinping, I would be like, hey, good show. It's a good movie, right? It's a fun comedian late show time where we sit on our comfy Russian and Chinese sofas and we watch the show. That's what they're doing. The current American administration says they want Greenland for national security purposes because the Chinese and the Russians are threatening Greenland and inserting their influence. So with that logic, if America indeed does take Greenland, the Chinese and Russians would be worried, right? No, that is not true at all. That is a huge lie. Like I said, if I am Putin or if I'm Xi Jinping right now, I would be cooking my popcorn and sitting down on a comfy sofa with a comfy blanket, and I would be watching this whole fiasco happily. I would be very happy. And as a Chinese person myself, I am both terrified because I live in America and kind of, feeling funny about it because this situation is really good for the country I was born in, China. It's good for China. I'm sure my friends in China are all cheering because this situation is very good because China has been waiting for the collapse of NATO. China has been waiting for this break in alliance between Europe and America. Because to China, that is a threat to China's national security. Sorry, hit my mic. This alliance between America and Europe is a threat to China's national security. For Russia, that's the same idea. And the collapse of NATO would be perfect for the Chinese and the Russians. But it's not a good thing for America or for Europe. But we're not going to argue with the American president now, because anyone who argues with him gets the stick. Not the carrot, the stick. And as an immigrant, I'm not going to say too much directly about the thinking process of my president right now. I'm not going to say too much about that. But I'm going to say something about history. Because as a fan of history, I'm a huge fan of history. I think I spend a little too much time on history, reading and researching. But from what I know about history, this is not when it started. This whole national sovereignty, international law, rule-based international engagement. This is not when the crack started. If you think this Greenland thing is when this all started, you would be fiercely mistaken. This whole thing started when America decided to go to war in Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya. If we're going to talk about national sovereignty, this is not the first time that the United States of America has blatantly ruined the country by attacking it directly or starting a coup. Even Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, even those three are in the beginning. Remember before, in the 90s, America interfered in Yugoslavia, bombed Serbia, bombed Belgrade, and they attacked the Chinese embassy in Yugoslavia at the time. A tragic event that, to many Chinese people, including myself, we don't forget the day when a U.S. fighter jet shot missile at the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, former Yugoslavia. We never forget that. And before the 90s, well, during the Cold War, America did plenty in terms of attacking other countries' sovereignty. Remember Chile? President Allende? I don't know how to say his name properly. President Allende? Yeah, that was a CIA-sponsored coup of Pinochet against a democratically elected Chilean president. We also have interference in... You go ahead and search up Wikipedia articles about U.S. foreign intervention since World War II, since the end of World War II. The frickin' Vietnam War, a war we should never have participated in. I mean, how many young American lives were lost during Vietnam? But I think this Greenlandic thing is a little different, although not too different, but it is different in the sense that in the past, even as the United States have violated national sovereignty, it has always done that with allies. The Korean War, Vietnam War, the Yugoslav War, the Iraqi War, Afghanistan War, the Libyan War, all the wars in the past have done with our NATO allies or allies in the region, right? We never fought those wars just by ourselves. But this time is different in a sense that we're still violating national sovereignty. That has never changed. That's not a new thing. That's not a new thing. Violating national sovereignty has never been a new thing for America. But the new thing is, we used to violate national sovereignty with our European fellow imperialist colonists. That's what we usually do. Now, we're violating sovereignty of a fellow ally. That's the new thing. Not the national sovereignty thing, but the type of violation. We used to violate sovereignty in Asia, Africa, South America, but this time, we're violating sovereignty of a European country. Yeah, that is different. The table has turned. Europeans, well, Yugoslavia is technically European, so I guess Europeans have had a taste of sovereignty violation, although NATO countries has never had a taste of American violation before. That is the first time. This is the first time that a NATO country has a taste of American violation of sovereignty. And to the NATO countries, that is a mind break. That is a freaking mind break, because they never thought America would do it to them. They always thought, America is gonna invade and interfere in an Eastern European country, a Balkan country, or a poor Asian, African, South American country. It's never gonna be Western Europe or Northern Europe. No. We're one, we're fellow colonial powers. We're fellow European supreme, better than the rest of them. We used to be one of them. We used to violate national sovereignty together. How many American wars has the Danish fought? The Danish were in the Middle East with America. Yeah, they participated in American wars overseas. And now they finally realize, oh, those wars are bad. Yeah, but see, before you never say it's bad because you're the one doing the invading. Now you're the one being invaded. Now you realize how terrible things were, because you only realize it now only because it's done to you. But before, it's never done to you, so you're like, well, it's like pollution, right? It's the same idea with environmental pollution, where I don't care if it's polluted because I'm not directly impacted. But now you are. Now you realize it's wrong to be imperialist, and it's wrong to colonize others. It is wrong to interfere in other countries' internal affairs. You see, the whole of Europe says the future of the Greenlandic people should be decided by them. Good job, Europe. Where was that realization when you were ruining other countries all those years ago? And still, European powers are still interfering in Asia and Africa and South America and oceanic regions. The shadow of colonialism is never going to end until the Europeans realize the horrors of it. And I think the Europeans are realizing the horrors of colonialism with this Greenlandic issue. They're realizing it, how terrible, how terrifying it is. Now imagine all those poor Asian, African, and South American countries when you, the European, were attacking them. Imagine that horror. I think the Europeans are able to imagine that now because it's happening to them. Whether or not Trump is going to follow up with this threat, hopefully he doesn't, for the sake of the people, because the people of Greenland, the people of Denmark, they're innocent. The people are innocent. The people are not the enemy. The Greenlandic people are my brothers and sisters. Same with the Danish people. They're my brothers and sisters. But their government, the ruling class of NATO, of EU, of European countries, the ruling class of those countries, they need to realize how terrible it is, how terrible colonialism is, how terrible imperialism is. They need to realize that. Because in the past, they never realized that. Because in the past, they've always been the perpetrators. But now it's happening to them. An overpowering imperialist power is attacking them. And to those ruling classes, I hope you can learn this lesson. I hope you can unify and defend yourselves against the current threat from America. Because if you let America get away with this, if you end up just kneeling down and bowing to America and then selling Greenland for whatever $1 billion, it's never going to end with just Greenland. Next, Trump is probably going to say, oh, well, there are some islands off the coast of England or Scotland or Ireland or off the coast of Norway. Do you want to sell those to America? Maybe Trump will buy Iceland next. Who knows? You guys got American troops in Germany, in England, in all those NATO countries. What are you going to do? The European people are innocent, but the European ruling class, not so much. Not so much. And the ruling class, you guys need to figure this out. Because your people are powerless, but you as a ruling class, you have some power over America. You can do things with trade. Mainly trade, really. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, one thing you can do, though, advice for me, cozy up to China. If you don't want Russia, you hate Russia, I get it. You don't have to deal with Russia. Cozy up to China. Learn from Carney of Canada. The Canadian Prime Minister Carney, learn from him, okay? He just signed a big deal with Xi Jinping. That makes Canada better. That gives Canada more leverage to negotiate with America. Europe, you need to give up all that xenophobic stuff. All that xenophobic nonsense, okay? China is the only thing that you can use as a leverage against both Russia, your eastern threat, and America, your western threat. Because you're threatened by both sides. And China is the only world power left that is strong enough to help you. So stop the xenophobic stuff you've been using for the past 20, 30 years. And do the smart thing. Negotiate with the Chinese. I'm sure Xi Jinping is willing to negotiate with you as long as you stop with the colonialist posturing and really talk it out with China. Without China, you either sell Greenland or you risk invasion, which in either case, you're going to lose. So that's my babbling for today. I wasn't gonna really make a video like this today, but I guess my emotions just got really hot because this is bad on so many levels. Um, if this video make you think about more than what you have thought before, if this video has made sense to you, give a comment, give a like, give a subscribe, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. I just want more people to hear what I have to talk. And I think my knowledge and my opinions can help you understand the world better. So see you next time, and good luck to the people of Greenland and Denmark. You're in my thoughts. You're in my thoughts.